There are moments in life that are so shocking that no one would believe them if they weren't filmed. So get ready to witness jaw-dropping, hair-raising,
hit the pine tree. Let's hit the palm tree.
and mind-blowingly unforgettable moments that were caught on camera. An unforgettable moment was caught on camera as a mother was in the wild with her son. She was unaware of the charging ram, but something even more hair-raising happened. It looks impossible to believe how close the ram got, but if it wasn't caught on camera, no one would have believed it. Heart-stopping moment was caught by a police body cam when an officer ran towards a man walking in the middle of the tracks as the train hurtled towards him. The man wearing the red shirt was unaware of the New Jersey Transit train, and this heroic patrolman, Kyle Savoya, screamed to stop the train.
Hey, stop the train!
The man got off the tracks with moments to spare before the train stopped just inches from where he was standing.
Stop the train! Stop the train! Move! Move! Move!
Don't try this at home. A performer from Northwest China displaying his tightrope skills was caught on camera during a failed attempt. As he was walking, the acrobat lost his footing and fell off the rope that was tied between two hot air balloons in a shocking high-wire stunt gone wrong.
300题那一幕我们真的没有料到，但是的确。
说明这个难度大。
In a moment that got everyone gasping, he managed to cling onto the rope and proceeded to deliberately hang on with just one hand to show he had everything under control.
我们可以看到平衡慢镜，300题，300题，这一幕我们真的没有料到。
A distracted phone addict in China aimlessly walked into an operational parking garage elevator and got trapped after she was taken down a level. The security camera caught her being oblivious of her surroundings, and when she tried to walk out, she didn't anticipate the car coming her way, eventually pinning her. Fortunately, she was fine and recovered soon after. This CCTV captured a man that was on his way to his doom. Just a few feet away from him, the road unexpectedly split open, possibly due to an underground pipe bursting wide. He stopped at the last possible second and saved himself before he met his doom. A wild boar caused havoc in Hong Kong's urban jungle at night after it fell through the ceiling of a shop, forcing staff and customers to flee. It was never confirmed how this boar managed to smash through the roof of a children's clothing shop. But it led to a 4-hour standoff with the security and animal control officers that tried to get this 55-pound animal to safety. Wild boars do roam in rural parts of Hong Kong, but something like this had never happened before. In this CCTV clip from inside a warehouse, one worker who was glued to his phone was not aware of the gaping hole in front of him. The hole led to the basement storage, and something absolutely unbelievable happened. As he fell through the hole, he miraculously landed on top of piled boxes, and somehow managed to land safely. She had just rented this car, and as she was about to park in her garage, she panicked and accelerated right into the neighbor's home. The car ended up in the wrong garage, and she had to cover all damages. This is why mapping out the location is so important, because as these workers were drilling holes in a residential street, they didn't know about the high water pressure pipe underground. After the bulldozer punctured it, the water went everywhere, dirtying the houses on the left, and also ruining their gardens. In this unforgettable moment, a scooter driver is about to find out why not to mess with a pole. The toll is automated, so it closed in on him, but the driver held a grudge which didn't end all that well for him because of karma. This is why diet is just as important as working out. While she was on the machine, her body became loose and she started losing her strength. Her body was soon about to give out completely as she struggled to continue walking. One of the trainers approached her and tried to wake her up, but to no avail. She had lost consciousness on the treadmill. She was exercising on an empty stomach, which led to low blood sugar, causing her to feel dizzy and soon black out completely. But thanks to the trainer's awareness, she was saved and gained consciousness an hour later. This store attendant forgot she was being recorded, and the CCTV caught her in the act. She was a gymnast and got so distracted on her phone that she forgot she was in the middle of her work shift. Nepal witnessed a shocking moment that led to a part of a town being completely sealed off. This wasn't any pipe burst or normal crack. Some unexpected natural phenomenon caused the ground to rise up and blow out hot smoke. The ground wasn't spewing mud or sewage water, it was hot, burning lava. Later, it was revealed to be a rare seismic event linked to volcanic activity deep underground. Something that no one ever expected. On March 14th, 2025, a bizarre event unfolded on the campus of Texas Tech University, and it was all caught on video. From a manhole in the middle of the walkway, bright gases suddenly started coming out. These gases had everyone in the area absolutely bewildered, and since it happened abruptly, no one knew what to do. Some thought it was a gas leak, others guessed it was a chemical reaction gone wrong, but with no official statement from authorities, the real cause remains a mystery. A tourist captured this unbelievable sight in Serengeti National Park in Tanzania just a few weeks ago. A woodpecker had made a nest inside one of the wildebeest's horns. The visual is pretty shocking, and it does pose a problem for both of these animals. In New Zealand's Bay of Plenty, a massive sinkhole tore open on a local farm out of nowhere. It stretched the length of 2 football fields and dropped down 6 stories deep. Sinkholes do happen in this region, but not like this. The size alone stunned scientists. When geologists arrived, they realized the sinkhole had exposed layers of volcanic ash buried underground, left behind by an eruption that happened 60,000 years ago. The theory is that heavy rainfall caused the land to finally give way, revealing a piece of ancient history. A remote area of Ethiopia experienced a powerful tremor, which at first left a thin crack across the dry land. But within hours, the ground split wider and deeper, turning into a massive trench that cut straight through the landscape. A geologist and his team made their way to the site, pushing through toxic volcanic gases just to get close. What they found wasn't just erosion, it looked like the land had been ripped apart, and after running tests, they couldn't identify the cause. And this event remains one of the most confusing land fractures ever caught on camera.
To think this happened overnight, this is the stuff of Hollywood.
One of the most unforgettable moments happened in Iran, when thick, rushing water covered about 17% of the desert area. It was flowing in fast, and the person recording didn't expect it to reach them so quickly. The exhilarating moment happened when a nearby ocean eroded some of the sandy dunes, causing a new path for water to flow. How exactly it removed those dunes is up for debate. While walking through a quiet wooded area, a girl suddenly noticed something strange sticking out from beneath a tree root. It looked like a giant human finger, thick, gnarled, and way too large to belong to any normal person. The surface was dry and cracked like a fossil. She didn't touch it and was confused by what she was seeing, so she uploaded images of it online, and now some are claiming this is proof of ancient beings like giants.
Just got home from the store, and guess what I found?
A group of men fishing noticed something unusual when bubbles started to rise near their boat. At first, it didn't seem like much, but within minutes, the water began shifting and a chunk of land started pushing upward. The entire surface trembled as thick mud and debris broke through, forming a small island right in front of them. What they captured was real. Scientists later explained it as a rare methane gas built up deep under the lake bed. As the pressure released, the gas carried solid layers to the surface, forcing a sudden rise in land. Deep in the forest, an explorer came across a massive hole carved into the ground. At first, it looked like just another cave opening, but then he noticed the glow. A strange orange light came from below, which got his curiosity, and he stepped closer and realized that this cave was above Yellowstone, the largest active volcano in North America. The glow was real, the heat was rising, and for a moment, he stood at the edge of something alive and dangerous. He didn't wait around and left the area as quickly as he could. At Mecca Park, something completely unexpected stunned the locals. A spring with unusual gases escaping from all around it. People gathered around, unsure of what they were even looking at, but later experts explained it was likely caused by emissions of methane underground and reacted with the air. While walking near the coast, a group noticed something strange happening in the water. The ocean's surface wasn't rippling normally. Instead, square-shaped waves were crossing each other, forming a perfect grid pattern. These patterns are called cross seas, and they're extremely dangerous. The waves collide from different angles, creating unpredictable and powerful currents. Boats can flip, swimmers can get dragged under. Although it was an unforgettable experience, they left so that it wasn't their last. On May 10th, 2025, a strange video filmed near an industrial area started spreading fast online. It showed a massive, cloud-like shape slowly rising off the ground. Almost like a fog, but thicker, moving upward instead of drifting. Some guessed it was gas or foam leaking from nearby buildings, but nothing was confirmed. It didn't make sense, and the longer people watched it, the less real it looked. To this day, no one has explained what it was. This local in Carnarvon Valley, Australia, captured something that didn't look real. As water splashed near a rock surface, the reflection was so sharp, so perfect, it made the solid rock look like liquid. Scientists say this happens because of the way light bounces off water and hits certain textures just right. But even with an explanation, the footage had people stunned.
Oh my God, bro.
While digging deep into a mountain, the rock beneath them cracked open, and instead of just more dirt or stone, they found a hole glowing bright orange from the inside. It looked hot, like there was something burning below the surface, but it was an intense glow that never faded away. The workers didn't stick around. Whatever it was, it felt unnatural. A crew working near the woods caught sight of something that immediately set off alarms. A single flame, burning clean on the bark of a tree. They approached it carefully, unsure if they were looking at a spark about to spread or something stranger. It didn't grow or spread across the area. The sighting was something they hadn't encountered before. One explanation was that it could have been caused by trapped gas or a rare reaction. Either way, it was a sight they didn't forget. A man walking in an unknown neighborhood froze when he spotted something strange. There was a woman standing alone in the middle of the street, moving her hands in slow, controlled patterns. At first, it seemed odd, but then, the gate to a nearby junkyard suddenly swung open by itself, right in sync with her movements. There was no one else around, and there was no wind either. It could have been a coincidence, but the atmosphere was too eerie to investigate any further. In the desert heat of Pakistan, a group of explorers spotted something that never happened before. It has never happened since. A huge wave of water was coming towards them, flowing through the sand in an unbelievable motion. But as it got closer, they realized it wasn't water. It was thousands of tiny fish moving together like a river. There were no lakes nearby. There hadn't been any rain, and no logical reason for fish to be swimming through the middle of the desert. Some locals called it a miracle. Others couldn't fathom it. So no one had a clear answer. Deep in the forests of Canada, one tree caught everyone's attention. It wasn't falling or bending. It was pulsing, like it was breathing. The ground beneath it would rise and fall, slow and steady, as if the earth itself was alive. Biologists later confirmed that the tree really was moving in calm weather, something they couldn't fully explain. Watching it back on video felt less like nature and more like the forest had something it wanted to say. A driver was cruising along a highway when something made him pull over. Off to the side, standing alone, was a single tree, its branches covered in snow. But here's the strange part. Everything else around it was dry. No snow on the ground, no snow on nearby trees. Just this one, completely dusted in white. The driver shared the footage online, hoping someone could explain it, but no one really could. In the middle of a warm landscape, this frozen tree didn't belong and still doesn't make sense. At a construction site, workers noticed a large metal pipe lying on top of the ground. Nothing unusual at first, but then it started moving. Not rolled or nudged, but shaking, twisting, like something was pulling from below. Authorities later pointed to underground vibrations or shifting pressure from machinery, but those who saw it firsthand said it didn't feel mechanical. It felt off. And watching it now, it's hard not to agree. In this next clip, the dry, rocky surface of a hillside suddenly gives way. Water begins gushing out from a small hole with surprising force. No signs of recent rain. No stream nearby, just a steady flow from deep inside the mountain. Some believe it could be an old, trapped underground reservoir, finally breaking free. Others say the pressure buildup doesn't quite explain the timing. Whatever the case, it's an incredible and unsettling moment caught on camera. While filming at a coastal port, a bystander points their phone up, and what they caught had viewers completely baffled. The sky looked split straight down the middle, one half bright and clear, the other dim and overcast, as if someone had drawn a line across the sky. The effect lasted only a few seconds before everything blended back to normal. Some called it a natural illusion. Others said it looked like a glitch. What do you think? Comment below. Since he was walking in the desert in brutal heat, he thought it couldn't get worse, but he was wrong. He spotted something strange on top of a hill, like the sand looked like it was popping, almost like it was boiling. But what really stopped him in his tracks were the flammable gases coming out from the middle of the sand. Turns out, there was a natural gas pocket under the surface, and the heat above had started the reaction. It's a natural reaction, but seeing fire rise from sand like that is pretty unforgettable. In this next clip, a man was wandering through the snow late at night when he noticed a soft glow coming from the frozen ground. It wasn't big, just a small patch, but it shined like a spotlight. Curious, he started digging, and with every layer he cleared, the glow got brighter. Unfortunately, the video cuts out before anything else is revealed, leaving the exact source of the light and what happened to the man completely unknown. Some believe it was just ice crystals. Others think it might have been something much stranger. In western China, a family stopped for a break while crossing the desert, and something bizarre happened. As soon as they stepped out, their hair started standing up. All of them. Experts later explained it might have been caused by electrostatic buildup from the dry sand and minerals in the area. But in the moment, it looked like the desert itself was reacting to their presence. Definitely not the kind of vacation memory they expected. Firefighters from Evergreen, Colorado were called in to deal with something rare, a tree burning from the inside. A lightning bolt had struck it clean through, lighting it deep within its core. Crews had to hike more than 150 meters into the woods to get to it, carefully making sure it didn't spread. Nature's power is one thing, but seeing a tree quietly smoldering from within, it's both eerie and incredible. Uploaded in April 2024, this next clip shows a man sweeping the ground when something bizarre happens. The second his broom touches the dirt, instant spontaneous reaction occurs, and it keeps on going as long as the broom stays in contact. Some say it's a reaction to chemicals or static, others think it's some kind of trick. But one thing's clear, the whole thing looks more like a ritual than a cleaning job. This man lived near a forest and claimed one of the trees had been smoking for weeks. No one believed him until he filmed it. Keeping his distance, he recorded a tall tree quietly releasing smoke from its trunk. The man said he was scared to get too close, worried something would happen that he wouldn't be able to control. And honestly, judging by how all of that looks, it's hard to blame him. No one's been able to explain why the tree behaves this way, and that just makes it even more unsettling.
Make a fire in it. Didn't take and left it, but...
Deep in the Amazon jungle, there's a place that almost feels unreal. It's called Shanay Timpishka, the Boiling River. Temperatures reach over 210 degrees Fahrenheit, enough to make you look worse than Darth Vader. But here's what makes it truly strange. There are no volcanoes nearby. That's usually the only thing that could heat water to this level. Scientists still don't fully understand where the heat is coming from. Locals avoid the river, saying animals that fall in never come back out. The air is thick with steam, and the sound of bubbling never stops.
There's the boiling river. This part pretty hot. What's on it?
One morning in the mountains turned into something unforgettable for this group of hikers who noticed thick smoke rolling up from the hillside, but they didn't know what caused it, as nothing was really visible. As they got closer, they found glowing lava slowly leaking through cracks in the earth. The ground wasn't erupting, but it was alive, breathing out heat from deep below. The rocky trail had turned into a glowing warning, proof that even a calm mountain can come at you surprisingly. At first glance, it looked like an ocean glitch. A tourist group caught rare footage where two different bodies of water collided but didn't mix. One side was bright blue, the other murky brown, divided by a sharp, unmoving line. The scene looked edited, but it was real. This strange divide happens when glacial meltwater meets salty seawater, creating a natural barrier. It's one of those rare moments where science and mystery blend, and for anyone standing there, it looked like the ocean drew a line and refused to cross it. A canal in the US suddenly turned bright red, and no one knew why. The Eerie video from 2022 showed thick red fluid flowing where clear water should be. It wasn't edited. It wasn't a filter. Locals were terrified, calling it a chemical leak or something worse. Officials didn't release any clear answers, only theories. Some said it came from a nearby lab. Others believed it was a reaction underground. Whatever caused it, the footage made waves online because something about blood-red water showing up out of nowhere just feels too close to a warning. A digger barely touched a tree in Millville, New Jersey, but what came out was wild. A huge yellow cloud instantaneously came out from the trunk, shooting into the air like smoke from a canister. The whole area got swallowed up in the dust, and the camera caught every second of it. Turns out, it was a pollen bomb, which is a natural event, but most people have rarely ever seen one happen right in front of them. It looked like the sky was falling when a deep red glow lit up an entire city, while streaks of bright light dropped through the clouds like meteorites from space. The video looked apocalyptic, but later, people learned it was just a fireworks display, part of a celebration. The smoke, lights, and haze had blended in a strange way that made the whole thing feel surreal. Even with the explanation, viewers couldn't stop talking about how eerily similar it looked to a Doomsday event. This wasn't a prank or a photoshopped post, because in a quiet village, goats were spotted calmly standing on tree branches, like birds. The footage showed several of them balanced up there, totally relaxed. Locals couldn't explain it. The night before, the goats were on the ground. By morning, they were climbing trees. Some villagers blamed black magic, since the area already had a reputation for strange events. Whether it was something supernatural or just extremely weird goat behavior, that footage left everyone completely puzzled. Now, with footage spreading online, the world has witnessed the mystery, and no one has a clear explanation. In the mountains of Gujo, China, something strange was happening. For over 10 days, a deep rumbling noise echoed from the hills, but no one could find where it was coming from. Locals searched the area, and even expert scientists stepped in, but no one was able to identify what was happening, let alone identify the source. Some theories suggest it could be coming from underground pressure, but then came the most shocking revelation, that an earthly tremor registered on a seismograph, and people got scared. These things happening back to back only made the entire situation more mysterious and eerie. A family parked near the beach in South Africa, but when they returned a few hours later, they were shocked to see what happened to the car. Their car was completely covered in giant woodlice, tires, windows, doors, even the roof. These sea slaters usually hide under rocks, but something about the car drew them in. Maybe it was the warmth, or maybe it was something no one could explain, and something that took them more than 3 hours to get off their car. After a storm in Pennsylvania, a family spotted something moving under their backyard grass. It looked like the earth itself was breathing.
Never seen this before in all my life, but apparently...
A giant bubble had formed under the soaked lawn, rising and falling like a giant lung. Some thought it was a sinkhole or a burst pipe, but it wasn't. Experts later said it was just water pressure, trapped under the turf. By the evening, the yard was back to normal, but for a few surreal minutes, that patch of land looked disturbingly alive. They managed to puncture the ground and get the water out, otherwise the soil would have been completely ruined.
It's rained so much, it's created a large water bubble in our yard. Kids, don't try this at home.
Now it's time for the most shocking, unforgettable moment caught on camera. This woman on a scooter experienced a gasping moment when a Vietnam tank T-55 pulled up next to her. She had stopped to allow it to pass, but what she didn't expect was the dark black suffocating smoke coming out of it. As the tank operator changed gears, it let out a thick smoke that completely engulfed her, and for a few moments, she disappeared from sight. All she could do was hold her breath and allow the smoke to pass.